Hey, what's going on guys, courtesy with Wirefly, and in this video we're going to talk about what Huawei announced in their event. Huawei announced two different phones, the Ascend G7 and the Mate 7. Let's start off with the mid-range phone. The Ascend G7, like I said, is the mid-range phone for Huawei. It's made out of metal, so it has a nice and sturdy feel to it, and it gives it that nice and premium feel. Too bad the internals are not that premium. Has a 5.5 inch 720p display, which should not be that bad, but for a 5.5 it should at least be a 1080p display. It has a 13 megapixel camera on the back and a 5 megapixel camera in the front, so you know what that means. It's gonna take good pictures for your selfies. It is running the latest version of Android 4.4, and it's being powered by a 1.2 GHz quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset. It has 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal memory, and you can upgrade it to up to 32 GB. It has a nice and hefty 3000 mAh battery, and as you guys can see, it's a nice quality mid-range phone. If you move on to the Mate 7, well, it's a whole nother level. First thing you're going to notice is that 6-inch display. It's a full HD 1080p display, which should be pretty good for this phone. Most companies are claiming it helps with the battery life, so I don't mind the 1080p. It has a metal body all the way around it to give it that nice premium feel, but with a 6-inch display, it's bigger than the Note 4. This phone also has a 13 megapixel camera on the back and a 5 megapixel camera in the front, so yes, more selfies for you. And this phone is also running the latest version of Android 4.4 KitKat. This phone is an octa-core phone. It has two different quad-core processors, a 1.8 GHz quad-core processor and a 1.3 GHz processor, with a high silicon Kirin 925 chipset. This phone is going to come in two different flavors. A 16GB is going to come with 2GB of RAM, or a 32GB version that's going to be in gold color and it's going to come with 3GB of RAM. And all this madness in this phone is going to be powered by a 4100 mAh battery. Like I said, with a display like that and an octa-core processor, this phone should last you at least 2 days, if not more than that. Oh, and we cannot forget that in the back of this phone, there's a fingerprint sensor. I guess you can say this is the main highlight of this phone, as a fingerprint sensor, and you can unlock your phone even if your display is off. You just place your finger on the back and it will automatically turn on. Pretty neat feature, and it's supposedly going to be able to recognize your fingerprint from any angle. But anyways, those were the highlights of Huawei in IFA 2014. If you guys want to see more videos of IFA 2014, be sure to check out the channel and subscribe to the channel to view more of these videos. I was Carlos with Wirefly, and I will see you guys in the next video.